What do you think are the solutions or technologies that organizations today need to start focusing on it to ensure, that they remain cyber resilient?
Yeah, I mean, if you think of the Lockheed Martin attack kill chain, and again, we come back to this fundamental approach of security. Lockheed Martin, whether you're an internal or an external user, pinpoints several points of this kill chain. If you're able to mitigate and control these, you're able to kill what is a typical cyber attack kill chain. So if you can address a lot of these issues, these are fundamentals which any organization can address to be able to shrink their attack surface and mitigate a lot of the most common malware. I mean, if you think about attacks, you think about how they're achieved. Bad actors look for the weakest part that they can and the weakest organization they can. And there are so many out there, it's very difficult to be really resilient. So there are basic things. Do we have control over privileged passwords? Every single compliance body, every single vendor that talks about security says control your passwords. So whether that's user passwords, remove local admin rights, or control privileged passwords, who uses them, who has access to them, when do they use them? Bad actors are going to look for access via an endpoint. They're going to look for a privileged password, and they're going to look to elevate any administrative password that they can get once they're into the IT environment with a powerful password. They obviously can have access to exfiltrate data or cause any issues, whether that be to IT, industrial control, or telco systems. They can cause, so that attack kill chain addresses these issues over privileged account use, least privileged, applications that can elevate. They're all basic things to control, but this is really, if I was creating a cybersecurity policy for the world we live in today, who has remote access? Who's got the ability, whether that be an individual, whether that be a partner, whether that be a vendor, whether that be a bad actor that's been able to get a VPN credential, and that VPN credential will be a powerful credential. And VPN generally doesn't restrict where you can go, certainly doesn't monitor what you're doing when you get in. So having some sort of control over remote access, as well as privileged passwords within WISP, as well as controlling endpoints, whether that be any of the operating systems we've spoken about, it'll have a major impact on the ability for malware, bad actors, cyber criminals to cause huge damage, and you really want to mitigate that control. You can layer that within a security policy, adding all of the primary controls, most of these compliance bodies, but BeyondTrust would advocate universal privilege management would be something that we would look at, combining least privilege with privileged password management with secure remote access. If you look at the CIS controls in the US and the list of them, by implementing our universal privilege management platform, you would mitigate up to 75% of the CS controls. It's shocking when you see it and you map our controls to it, to the impact it would have on a control like that. It's powerful, really powerful. We're not talking about, you can go to a trade show. I'm not casting dispersions on any vendor, but you see like dials whizzing around and things happening and words used. We're not about that. We're about fundamental security controls, which are difficult to implement, that we have made easy to implement, easy to adopt. We would look at a program of events, a pragmatic approach to be able to implement them. We're very experienced doing it. We're well mature in the region. There's so much going for us to be able to help organizations get to a stage of pretty sound control over your privileges within your organization.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for that, John. So I know you have mentioned obviously that you guys are strong advocates of universal privilege management, but beyond that, so what else differentiates BeyondTrust as a privilege management player?
So BeyondTrust we're the first company out of anybody that you talk to in this space in the marketplace to have this mantra of privilege management. Ever since I've been working for BeyondTrust for 5 years, our platform, our breadth of products, our coverage in the privilege space has been prevalent. We were the first PAM vendor to introduce Windows and Unix least privilege. Unix least privilege 30 odd years ago, Windows least privilege since Windows was around. We were one of the founding members of privileged password management with 300 other vendors. We were the first to bring identity bridging to the market, and we were the first to unify remote support and privileged remote access with password management. So we have more experience than any other PAM vendor in the market space talking about this story. What we see is a lot of other PAM vendors trying to replicate what we've done. But if you take any of these point products and you pitch them against any of the other products, we would feel pretty confident. Put us in a POC, test your use cases against our products. We generally come out on top, and we can point to some recent wins, you know, in the last 6 months of significant organizations in our territory that have selected BeyondTrust above the competition because the breadth of our portfolio, our universal privilege management portfolio, is mature, it's integrated, and it's very strong individually, but exceptionally strong when it's done together as a unified platform, which we call Beyond Insight.
That's great. Thank you so much, John. And so what can regional customers, what can the regional market expect from BeyondTrust in the coming months?
Well, that's important. I mean, if you're talking about BeyondTrust strengths, that is another one. In this part of the world, as I said, our office opened around 5 years ago. We were at the time, maybe there was one from another vendor, but I think we were the only US PAM vendor that had a local direct market presence. And our office has grown. We have over 20 people in our Middle East office for a PAM vendor. That's significant. So I have sales teams, commercial teams, technical teams in Saudi, in the UAE, covering Kuwait, Oman, Bahrain, and other parts of the territory outside of the Middle East. We have local support, project management, channel. We have the entire support platform, and that is unmatched in terms of the vendors that we would compete against. And PAM is a project, it's a long-term investment. If you don't have local support, it becomes quite difficult to rely on a channel partner. Some channel partners are better than others. Another strength of BeyondTrust, we were here first. So we have, I think, the strongest channel out of any of the PAM vendors that are out there. And we're very fortunate to work with the channel partners that we do. We're 100% channel, and we utilize each other's strengths in the marketplace, both from a new business acquisition, but also from a support and the professional service perspective, to put us in an exceptionally strong position in the marketplace. Again, if I think back to some of the recent wins, it's never just BeyondTrust. The people that do the selling and the delivery, we work in harmony with service delivery partners, resale partners, the local market. Our ability to execute in that local market presence is something that would attract me to BeyondTrust. You know, obviously I'm not objective about it, but it would be attractive to me if I was looking to invest in BeyondTrust for sure, versus any of the market competition.
That's great. Thank you so much for that, John. Do you have any final message that you want to share regarding the current condition, or whether it's regarding the current conditions or about BeyondTrust itself?
Yeah, no, I mean, BeyondTrust in terms of the way we're looking towards the future, obviously, as I said at the beginning of this call, the world prior to COVID was changing in IT, whether it be hybrid cloud environments or IoT. BeyondTrust will be fully in tune with that. If you think about cloud adoption, our suite of cloud products will rival our on-premise products, and we will see a big adoption of cloud technology, and we will be able to support any of the customers that are going that direction in this part of the world. Moving forward, we can now. We're just going to supplement that even further in the coming months. But you'll see a bigger investment from BeyondTrust, not just supporting enterprise clients, but a big investment in that corporate mid-market. We see a huge opportunity there. Our products, certainly the cloud-based products and some of the other remote support privilege remote access tools, are very, very, very apt and very good for those types of customers. And you'll see a big focus from us trying to help all customers right up and down the spectrum with their privilege management needs.